Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 3. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's transfer special as we look to rebuild the team, reinvigorate it and get some really good players into the squad. For those of you who watched the live stream earlier on today, you're treated to 2 transfer specials in one day. So congratulations to you lot if you were one of those who were in the stream earlier on. 2 transfer specials for you. I still can't believe that we signed Mbappe and got Messi on a free. For Fiorentina as well, absolutely mental. At least that's what I assume is going to happen. I'm recording this video on Friday night before the stream on Saturday afternoon, so I assume that's what's going to happen. Either way, if you're not following me on Twitch, go and follow me on Twitch because we're trying to build up the live streaming platform this year, so get yourselves over there, drop a follow, would love to see it. Also, whilst you're down there in the description, clicking on that Twitch link, if you're down there, make sure you do press a like on this video as well and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Sorry for all the plugging then, lots of plugging, but we're very close to 20k subscribers. I just want to get there. So you'll see in today's thumbnail, it says £150,000 arriving from Malaga. And you're like, Tom, what's going on there? You've got no money. Well, that is true. We do have no money, but we do have just under £150,000 in the transfer budget. And I've actually already bought the player. He's the 3rd addition to the squad already, actually. Last episode, we spoke about 2 players joining the squad, who I'll quickly recap for you. Luis Moreno was a centre midfielder coming in from Cordoba. We've talked about him before. He looks like a fairly decent CM, so hopefully he lives up to the hype. And the, I suppose, original replacement for Raul Zabalaga was Juan Francisco Arroyo. He's coming in as a right winger / striker. However, we have spent £150,000 on a proper replacement for Raul Zabalaga. It's this guy, Robert Tapu from Malaga. He's a Romanian under-21 cat player. He's 21 years old. And whilst some of his attributes don't look fantastic, he does have 4-star current ability and 5-star potential. I saw that he was on the transfer list for very, very cheap, and I felt like we had to go in for him as soon as possible without delay, basically, because so many clubs were interested in him. No other clubs decided to go and bid for him, so we've got him. It's very, very fortunate that we're getting him in. He looks like a great replacement for Raul Zabalaga. Not quite so good on the finishing side of things, but can play right wing, can play striker. I'm very happy. So those 3 players are coming into the club in about a week's time or so. 22nd of June right now. Contracts expire in a week or so. So we'll see those guys very shortly. A couple of things to update you on. The new stadium is being delayed by 2 months or so, which is a little bit annoying. We get to move into it in September as opposed to July now. So it's not proving too much of an issue apparently for the league and stuff like that. But a little delay to our new stadium move. Also in some big news, this one's mental really. It mentions Kylian Mbappe, Luka Jovic and Oninho Jr. in the same sentence, because Mbappe is Europe's top marksman, as you can see. But because Oninho Jr. was so prolific, he came 2nd in Europe's top marksman over the past season, despite playing for our B team in Gibraltar's top flight, which is mental. So here you go, Mbappe, Oninho Jr., Luka Jovic. What a trio. So congratulations, Oninho. I see this and I was going to let you go, and I want to offer you a new contract now to stay at the club to be Europe's top marksman next season for the B team. However, off a new contract, he doesn't want to be here anymore. You hate to see it. So unfortunately, we're going to lose the 2nd most prolific goal scorer in all of Europe next season, despite him playing for Gibraltar. Anyway, I think that's kind of all the news to be caught up with. It's time to push on with today's episode and get some signings done. First things first, some scout reports came through of some players who are available for loan, which is very interesting, particularly this guy at the top, Pascal. He's a CDM playing for Valencia, and I think our squad is crying out for a top quality CDM. And I think we can get this guy. All depends on how much they want in his wages. Let's make an offer. Let's put a loan offer in. And they want us to pay £5,000 a week. I should say as well, actually, the wage budget has gone up to £50,000 a week from the £39,000 a week it was also last season. So an extra £10,000 is great. Well, it does mean actually is we can pay more wages for him per week. So we can't meet that 50% they want. We can pay 40. Would they be happy to go down to 30% if we lock that in? They'll probably suggest a monthly playing fee of 10. Can we knock this down to like £8,000? £8,000 a week? They want 10. How about £9,000 a week? They want 10. Okay, £10,000 a week for the year. That is not that much money. I say a week, I mean a month. That is, if he's here for 12 months, £120,000. That seems okay. In fact, actually, I think that's all of our transfer budgets. Ooh, that is quite a lot. That literally is a little bit more than all of our transfer budgets. Is he worth it? He looks really good and solid. Like, marking's good, tackling's good. His physicals and mentals are very, very, well, they're not outstanding, but they are strong across the board. I think he's a good player. And it's a position that we really need some support in, actually. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. 10 grand a week, accept the demands. Let's try and get him in. It might limit us a little bit in terms of trying to manoeuvre later on in the transfer market, but hopefully we can sell some players. We also need to do the obligatory scouting of Betis players, as they are our affiliate club, to see which players are really good in their team that won't come to us. Good news is, though, the loan offer for Pascal has been accepted, so fingers crossed he signs for us before anyone else gets him, because I think he's very, very popular and in demand right now. There's 1 or 2 players in the Betis under-19 squad from that little scout report that's just come through. However, none of them are available for loan, which is very frustrating. That might change once the transfer window opens, so we'll keep tabs on this. I assume the same will be true of the B team as well, but we'll get that report come through and have a look at that as well when it comes through. Oh, but the actual Betis team do have a couple of players listed for loan. I don't think they'll come to us though, because they are probably very, very good. No harm in trying though. Loan offer. I mean, they're very happy for this Savio guy to come to us on loan, who's valued at £3 million. I mean, I doubt he'll accept. Let's make him a star player, because he will be. I doubt he'll accept coming to us. Same with Barak Ince. I highly doubt he will want to come to us. But if Betis want to, oh, they want 33 grand a week. Okay, we can't get this guy then. But hopefully Savio, he might come to. That would be great, wouldn't it? And then finally, the B team report has come through as well. Let's have a quick look at their B team. No loan status set for a lot of the players, but that doesn't mean they won't come. Well, they're on loan right now. We might have to wait until after the transfer window starts to get these guys, I think. Oh, and at the same time, Betis have come to us wanting to give me a job interview. Betis, how very kind of you. I mean, we're going to have to reject it because this is the Lincoln Loco, not the Betis Loco, so we can't go there. But to be fair, I think I'd fit in quite well because I feel like I know half the players already. But all their players shun us usually. They don't like to come to us. We offer them contracts and they always say no. So I'm going to say no to Betis. I suppose as well, I haven't spoken too much about formations. I think one of our biggest issues last season was I actually chopped and changed a little bit too much. I think we need to go back to basics a little bit this season. And I think we need to go back to that 4-3-3 defensive midfielder wide positions, but also have an option to move that defensive midfielder into an attacking midfielder. I think we need to just strip things back to basics, keep things as simple as possible for the players, and sort of alternate between those two formations as and when we need to. There were some really good comments actually in the past few videos sort of outlining people's ideas of what we should do with the squad. Most people seem to sort of agree with me that, you know, gutting out the squad is a pretty decent idea, as Savio, the bid for him has been accepted. Brilliant stuff. A few people were saying that we shouldn't drop Dikene for Gonzalez, even though Gonzalez is probably going to be the future for us. So I think what we'll do is end up rotating the two of them, play Dikene when we have more difficult fixtures and play Gonzalez when we have easier fixtures, so they both get some game time. But as we approach the transition in contracts, Raul Zubilaga's contract's about to expire. The top scorer in La Liga 2 this season is about to leave on a free transfer, which is terrible. But in good news, this Pascal guy has agreed to sign for us. We've got to adjust the budget slightly by what, £100 a week to get him in, to get that £120,000 to pay for him. Am I being sensible with that? Yeah, go on. I've decided to do it now. I've slight hesitation on it, but I think it's probably the best thing to do. Our current assistant manager, Mauro Peratti, I'm letting him go, which you might find a little bit shocking because he's been decent whilst he's been here. He's not a bad assistant manager. However, I think a change might be needed in the backroom staff. He's good adaptability, but we don't need someone adaptable because he's already got full adaptability for Spain anyway, so that's fine. His man management is decent and his judging player ability and potential is good as well. And fairly determined personality is also good, but his formation and tactical style is nothing like mine, so I feel like we need to let him go. So release him from his contract. Mauro, thank you for all your hard work, but it's time to let you go. Don't worry, I have got a guy that I want to bring into the club, Christian Maggio, who's not quite as good in man management or in judging player potential, but he has got a professional personality, he's good at training as well, and he suits our style of play a lot better. So I think he'd be a good addition to the squad. He wants a fair bit more money than our current assistant manager did, or our old assistant manager did, but that's fine because our old assistant manager wanted about £800 a week on a pay increase anyway. So it's kind of the same sort of wages, 2-year deal, $750 a week. He's agreed to it. finalise the deal, the new guys coming in. And speaking of new people coming in, it's now the 1st of July, and we should have our new players arriving at the squad. As a few loans finished, obviously Diego's finished, John has finished, and Zarate's finished. I completely forgot to tell you about it, because they're basically part of the first team squad and basically our players anyway now. Cahinde and Diego Garcia, they're back for another season again. I think this is Cahinde's 4th season. Is it 3rd season? I swear it's his 4th season. It is his 4th season. It still says 26-27 there, not 27-28. So this is Cahinde's 4th season at the club, and it'll be Diego Garcia's 3rd season at the club. Yes, it will be. So let's say hello to the new boys so far. Pascal is here on loan, 4.5 stars of current ability and 5-star potential. Not that really matters too much. It's the current ability that we need because he's here for this season, so that is fantastic. Welcome to the club. And then the 3 other players joining. Robert Tapu, £150,000 we've spent on this guy, and he does look good. I mean, look at that pace, acceleration, agility. He looks really, really solid. I'm not sure if he's going to play as a winger or a striker. Maybe more as a winger this season, I think. But he does look good to me. I like what I see. The only issue we have with him is his minimum fee release clause of £850,000, which he insisted on having. We couldn't put up any more than that, so that's a bit of an issue. Francisco Arroyo, the other winger coming in. These two will rotate quite nicely. Another 5-star potential player, fairly professional as well. La Liga 2 potential. I think he might have La Liga potential in there. Moreno with 2.5 stars of current ability. I feel like we might have just missed out a little bit on him. Maybe missed the mark. The scouts not quite doing their due diligence on him. But to me, he does look like a good player. Like, I'm not really seeing... I think he looks better than 2.5 stars, basically. So first of all, those 4 players I think are decent signings. Of course, Athletic Bilbao. The fans are furious because he didn't sign a new contract. It's not my fault he's gone. I mean, technically it is a little bit, but, you know, he signed the contract. Can we go back to Betis now, actually? The Betis B team, or under 19s first. Can we, any of them wanting to come on loan? This guy, I think, is a right winger. We don't need more right wingers. The one position we don't need is right wing. We've got enough of those now, but no one else available, and this guy's not good enough. As for the B team, there's a few players listed for loan, which is nice. I bet you can't believe it, can you? The best player is a right winger. You can't make it up. So we won't go for him, but I think Javier Martinez and Carlos Berenguer, I'm not going to try and pronounce that too much. And actually, this guy down here, Caballero, could be decent. Although Caballero looks like a winger. He's a... we'll scout him out a little bit more, maybe, actually. But these two, he's a right winger. Yeah, why are there just so many good right wingers? Carlos, then, he's a centre mid. He looks okay. Transfer, make an offer. We can get him for free because he's from Betis. Make the offer. Please come to the squad. There's a couple players transfer listed, but I don't think they're transfer listed for anything that we can afford. Transfer listed for £180,000, and loads of clubs in all sorts of divisions want him. Man United want him. Tottenham want... Okay, we can't get him. So this is the current crop of players that we are now working with, which is quite exciting. But don't worry, I've made this a little easier for you in a spreadsheet. So here's a spreadsheet with lots of colours on it and things like that. It's pretty simple to understand. You've got the player here, so JD Meakin, who's a striker. He's got 3.5 stars of current ability, which is a number 2, which means he's capable of playing at the 2nd tier of Spanish football as it stands right now. His potential is 5-star, which means he can play at number 1, which is number 1 La Liga, the top tier of Spanish football. That's what it all means. So as you can see, we've got 2 players with La Liga potential, Meakin and Gonzalez, both of those guys. We've got 4 players with La Liga 2 potential, as you can see, Dekene, Josho, Cesar and Casado. After that, it's not looking quite so good. These players play apparently at the division below us and only have potential for the division below us, which obviously isn't ideal. There's obviously 2 untouchable players in here. Shitigel, untouchable, he plays whatever. And Raul Jr. as well. I feel like he's harshly done by the star system and the attributes in game because he scores so many goals. So those 2 for me are untouchable to the extent where we won't let them run out of contract or offer them new contracts as and when because they are heroes. So you can see that my player recruitment so far in Moreno, Arroyo and Tapu has been pretty decent because they have got potential to play at this level or above, and of course the loan players can play at this level, and if we want to sign in the future, which we might do if we have the money to do so, can play at the level above us as well. So what we might need to do is maybe drop a couple of these players, you know, a Chipolina, a Brito, they might have to leave the club. What I am very proud of, actually, in a way, is that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 Patreon, 9, including Raul Jr., 9 Patreon players in the squad, which means they've come through our youth system. So with 9 players in the team, are homegrown at the club, which I'm pretty pleased with. It's a shame that the potential isn't quite so good on some of them, but they are useful players to have around the club. So the aim today is to expand this spreadsheet, but by bringing in some more green, basically. I should have shown you that right at the start of the episode, but I wanted to get the new boys in to put them in the spreadsheet to actually then make a bit more sense with it. Anyway, Michael Chipolina. I think he's the prime candidate to leave the club. His contract expires at the end of the season. We can try and get a bit of money for him right now. He won't play too much this season, I'm afraid, so we need him gone. So we'll set an unspecified fee for now. Transfer list, offer to clubs, see who wants him. The same, unfortunately, for Ethan Brito as well. Is it the same for Ethan Brito? Oh, he can only play the division below us, apparently, and he's got no potential. But I do like Ethan Brito, particularly with his determination. He's a good shooter. So I might hold on to Brito. But then his contract does expire at the end of the season. I think we offer him out and see if anyone wants him. If not, we'll keep him. Chipolina obviously very upset that I've offered him out to clubs. Brito, can you sort this one out for me, please? Even though you've been offered out to clubs as well. And he no longer feels forced out of the club. You love to see it. In the meantime, offers are being made for Ethan Brito, £18,000. I think we can push that up a little bit. Let's try and start a bit of a bidding war on Ethan Brito. Offer to clubs. Let's say £35,000. Transfer list, offer to clubs. 35,000 might be pushing it a little bit too much, as Toledo have come in with £19,000. Non-negotiable. I think 20. We can get 25. No offers for Chipolina though, which seem a little bizarre. Offer to clubs. Let's try and put him at like 10 grand. Offer him out for that. See if clubs bite on that one. But am I making a mistake with Brito? I don't know. I feel like I might be. Also on the grounds that we don't really have another left back, it might be a bit of an issue. Savio, of course, has rejected. We did think that would happen, to be fair, so I'm not too surprised by that. Board have blocked the offer for Christian Maggio. Oh my god, did we not offer him a deal as an assistant manager? Did they offer him a coaching job instead? I'm such an idiot. Why? Oh, I should have checked that out. I don't want to bring him in as a coach. I want to bring him in as assistant manager. We'll cancel it for now. We'll come back in for him later on. Oh, that's such a big mistake on my part. Also, no clubs came in for £25,000 for Brito. So I might just take that as we're not going to sell him now. More takeover rumours are coming through. They come through every season. They never happen. I'm getting quite upset about it. Here's a player that I want to sign. This guy. Now, I don't know why I didn't sign him before. Probably because I didn't want to sign too many players off camera before the transfer special. This guy we need to try and bring in. He looks like a really good centre-back. So let's offer him a contract. I'm going to say important player, actually. And we can give you preferred position of a ball-playing defender at centre-back, because that's what we want you to play as anyway. Suggest that promise. Negotiate. Let's give you 1.6 grand per week. Let's get rid of that top division wage rise and sell on percentage fee. And we'll leave the unused substitute fee on there for now. The top division wage rise has come back. Remove and exclude, please. Bring the wage down to 1.7. Suggest. I think we're onto a winner with this guy. He looks really good from what the scouts have said. Speaking of scouting, who else is available? This Luis Fernandez guy. 3-star current ability. 5-star potential. Good first touch. Passing's decent enough. Technique is very good. He looks like he could be a decent player. Centre mid. We could do with some centre mids. Breakthrough prospect, which means he might want a fairly cheap contract, which he does. Let's get rid of that top division wage rise and yearly wage rise. Unused substitute fees a little bit high, so we'll get rid of that as well. And the wage rise after certain games. Okay, let's bump your wages up to like 1.6 to accept this. Minimum fee release clause of 2.5 mil. He's fairly susceptible to that, actually. We can't bump the... I forget to lock it in. That's part of my issue. I forget to lock it in. 4.25, 1.6. That looks good. There's a right wing back. There's a right complete wing back here. Potential of 5 stars. The teamwork and work rate are fairly high. Determination a little low. Personality only balanced, but obviously maybe we can get Brito to chew to him. Dribbling is good. Crossing could be a little better. Again, looks like a good player with some potential. Let's see what he wants in terms of contracts. A very cheap one still, 1.4 grand a week. Let's get rid of that non-substitute appearance fee. 2-year deal. Suggest he wants 12 months. It's 2 years, lad. There we go, 2 years. That's a very nice contract, that. And speaking of trials, we want to bring in young players with potential, mostly, to try and sell on. So let's set the maximum age to 20 years old. Let's sort it by determination. We want high determination players in here because they usually have the ones with potential if they're high determination. And let's get the players in on trial down to about there. So good progress so far. I feel like we're doing quite well. Let's get all these players in on trial as well. See if any of them are any good. Although it might take a little while for the coaches to decide if they are any good or not. The initial assessments are not great by looks of things. I'm seeing lots of... Well, that guy's 5-star potential, but he's only for the division we're currently in right now. There's not really any La Liga potential, which I wouldn't really expect there to be. I don't know. There's a few players we can definitely get rid of straight away to make room for more players in on trial. Oh, here come the bids for JD Meakin then, who's got a minimum free release clause of £600,000. I swear it was like 11 million for Meakin. Who's got the 11 million pound one then? What? Who's got 11 million? Someone had 11 million. What? Meakin. What's gone on here, mate? Contracts offer new he doesn't want to talk about contracts. I swear it was 11 million. I swear we did this in an episode and it was 11 million. Who had an 11 million pound one then? Contract info. November. I swear. Oh, it's relegation release fee clause, 11 million. I've done the wrong thing on contracts, haven't I? Well, I think we might be saying goodbye to JD Meakin then, because I'm sure Atletico Madrid will come back with £600,000 at some point. Let's just ignore this for as long as... Oh, I'm sorry. Right, doing a bit of searching for players available on loan as well. That's a market we really need to dive into this season. There is a left back here from Real Madrid. We could do with a nice left back. Does look quite good actually, particularly on the physicals and mentals. The technicals let him down a little bit. But how much do they want for him? £4,200 per week, which we can afford. Question is, do we want to pay it though? Probably not. That is literally about 10% of our wage budget, so we do need to go a little bit cheaper than that. Gotti. I forgot we had Gotti a couple seasons ago, and he played relatively well. He's 3-star, 5-star, operating at La Liga 2 level. Is he cheap? Make an offer, loan offer. No, he's not cheap at all. In fact, he's more expensive than the Real Madrid guy. And then everyone else after them aren't really that good. Let's sort it by value again and scout out the very best ones. I think maybe before we actually spend any more money like that, we should wait and see if the players like this guy who we offered a contract to. I think before we actually start spending money on loan players, let's get the players we offer contracts to in the club. I think before we start offering more money out for players in on loan, we need to get the players we offer contracts to actually accepted into the club and analyse the players in on trial before we do any of that. So Salvador Catala, the young right back, is coming into the club. Welcome to the club, Salvador. Great to have you here. Please have that 5-star potential that you promised us you'd have, or at least the scouts promised us that you'd have. Please be 5-star. It's 4.5. We'll take that. He is obviously going to be back up to Dio Garcia this season, but does look capable, to be fair. I like what I see and should develop relatively quickly, but might not be playing at the level we need him to off the bat, so he will definitely be back up to start off with. Things would be a lot easier for us if we just had a sugar daddy coming into the club and buying the club and giving us all the money in the world. That would make things a lot easier. In fact, let's have a look at the salaries. I need to get out of the way. Look, I can come around here, look, and just sort of dangle off the camera a little bit. You can see the salaries down the side. Alaves, they're paying £18 million a season on wages. Real Sporting Gijón, £13 million basically. Barcelona B, 12 million. Elche, you get the idea. Let's just keep scrolling down to the bottom. I mean, 21st is spending £2.5 million, and then we're there, 1.8, which actually is a bit more than I thought it was going to be. To be fair, I thought we'd be a bit further behind, but you can see the difference. I mean, literally, Alaves are paying 10 times the amount of wages we are. Also, Alaves have sold £31 million worth of players. So make of that what you will. That's why they've got so much money. So you can see that we are really pushed very tight with our budget, but it's what we do best. We always have tight budgets with our little journeys that we go on, so we always make the best of them. So still waiting on that centre-back, the midfielder, and Carlos from Betis to come back to us. Once those guys have come back to us, we can do a bit more searching for players. I feel like I'm repeating myself quite a lot today. Editing might be quite heavy to get rid of all these repeats, but it is late on a Friday night, so forgive me, please. Excellent. The young centre-back, the 22-year-old centre-back coming in from Argentina. We need £3,000 to pay his agent fee. We need to adjust the budget for that ever so slightly, £50 a week or so. Adjust that, that's fine. Adjust that. Welcome in Romagnoli. You love to see it. Please be as good as I was making you out to be earlier on. I've told everyone that you were really good, mates, so please actually be really good. I'm trusting the scouts who told me you were really good, and I've told... He's 3 and 4. We'll take that. You know, it could have been a little better, but he should be good enough to be playing at this level already. Well, the level below. Okay, maybe not quite up to the scratch we need him to be, but he'll get there. He's still 22. I'm happy with him signing. I think he's a good signing. The second best centre-back next to Gahinde. Pascal, technically a centre-back as well, but he's going to play CDM. Instantly, he has left his agent as well, which is pretty mad. After we've just paid his agent £3,500. You could have done this just before, you know, mate. You could have done that just... Thanks a lot. So we can get a little more out of the wage budget. Apparently we have to attempt to avoid relegation, but if we avoid relegation, we get an extra £3,000 a week, £4,000 a week basically, and I think that's worth doing. So let's lock that in. We need all the money we can get, basically. All the money we can get as the new season ticks over, because that's what the little screen is all about. So welcome to the 2027-28 season. Unfortunately, though, the Betis player has rejected us, which is a bit annoying. Can we go back in for him again? Loan offer. This time, make him a star player, because he'll probably play most games if we get him. Alcorcon want Brito. I forgot we even offered him out. He's got a minimum fee release clause of £5 million. If only we could get that. They're paying 23.5. No, let's reject that. I feel like we can get more money for him if we're going to sell him, but right now we probably shouldn't, because there aren't any left backs coming in. So let's find out about Luis Fernandez. Come on, Luis Fernandez, accept that contract, get into us, and then we can finally start to talk to other players again. Oh, we finally have to actually reject the Atletico Madrid offer. That came in when? Like a week ago or so? It came on the 4th of July. It's now a week. Okay. I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to hold off. He wants to discuss the future. Now, do I want... No, Shitty Gel always sorts us out for me. Andre, at some point you're going to fail on convincing a player to stay at the club or not take a new contract. I pray, please do not let that day be today. Please, that's all I ask. Please help Meekin resolve his issues. Summary, he's going to do it. And he's happy to stay at the club. Now, please, contract, offer new contract. He wants to talk to us. You love to see it, right? What do we say here? Attacking midfield on the left. No, you're a striker. You don't play striker. I will leave Stepping Stone in there, though, because that'll keep him happy, especially if we boost up his minimum fee release clause to, I'm going to say, 10 million. Lock it in. That's what we're going to do. 1.4 grand a week. That's absolutely fine. I think that's what he's on already, actually, so that's absolutely fine. After international appearances, he wants 1.9. You can have 1.7 after that. You can have a big goal bonus as well. Top promotion wage rise, get rid. Unused substitute fee, get rid. Suggest terms. He wants a bit more money. I tell you what, lad, you can have it if we can boost that minimum fee release clause up to 15 million. Suggest. Brilliant. Finalise. You love to see it. Oh, I think we might have just saved ourselves there. We really dodged a bullet. That is as good as a signing, actually. That is as good as a signing as we talk about signings. Fernandez set to join us. Luis Fernandez, please have that 5-star potential that you sort of promised us that you did have. You promised us. You said it. I'm expecting to see it now. Come on, tick over. And it is 5-star potential. Only potential for La Liga 2. I reckon that is La Liga, though. 4th best centre mid, but apparently Diego Garcia and Gahinde and Pascal, who aren't centre mids, are better than him in centre mid. So technically, the best centre mid we've got now. So very pleased with that. Although he's in the under-19 squad. Let's sort that one out. Development, move to the senior squad. There's also the matter of all the players in on trial. These guys have got 4-star potential, which we're not too fussed about. This guy's got a bit of current ability, though. only for 2 divisions below us. So let's get rid of these guys. Let's go to terminate those trials. These guys ahead of them have 4.5 stars of potential. Are any of them La Liga potential? No, 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 no. So these guys can all go. That just leaves this guy with 5-star potential, maybe, who is a left winger. Come on, La Liga 2 in the future. Not what we want to see. But I'll leave him on trial for now. Can we get this guy as our assistant manager again as well? Yes, we can. Right. Lock this in. Coaching, assistant manager. Lock it in. We'll give you whatever you want, basically, mate. Although I want lower on wages. 750. Right. He wants a lot more on wages now. Can we bring this down to like 900? Suggest. 950. Come on, lad. We're paying you a lot of money now. This is not fair. 1.1. That's as much as I'm earning, but he's a very good one, so let's get him in. Actually, it's looking quite good to me. Now, there's a few little gaps that I do want to fill. A left back, an attacking playmaker, and a winger. Or actually, Fernandez can play attacking playmaker. So maybe just another midfielder, basically. And then on the left-hand side. Now, obviously, even Brito can play left back, but I'd rather get someone better than him in. And Timo Wolf can play left wing, but I think we could do with someone better. We've got a full bench of 12 players here who are backups. We've got 2 strikers in there, but 1 player for every position. And we've also got some leftovers as well who just might not be making the cut just yet. Obviously, Chitigel stays, so that's absolutely fine. We might have to bump Jez Finley, Harry Gazzalucci and Scott Marshall out on loan this season. Casado is an interesting one because he was always sort of brought in to be the new right winger, but he's not quite developed and his potential's dropping. So I think Casado is one to leave the club. Let's offer him out, see what happens. Actually, I'm lying to you. Chipolina shouldn't be on the bench, should he? We'll swap him over with Scott Marshall because Scott Marshall is better. He's younger and more potential. So Scott Marshall on the bench. Chipolina, again, transfer offer to clubs. Let's set it back to unspecified and list him. So I'm going to scout left wingers who are available for loan. Let's get some scout reports in on. In fact, let's cancel all the other scout reports we're trying to get right now because we don't care. Cancel all of those. We just want to focus on the left wing, the centre mid, and the left back. Although we do know a very good left back from Real Madrid who is available. Thing is, he's very expensive on £4,000 a week, and we've only got £6,000 left in the wage budget. Although we might have more if we sell some play. Oh, it's difficult. Can we bring this down to like 50%? What do they say to that? No, they want 100. If we say 50%, right? Lock it in. Suggest they want £9,000 a week. How much will that take off our wage bill? Not a huge amount, I don't think. I'm going to accept the demands. We'll see what happens in a little bit when that comes. I don't think that's that bad. Annoyingly, no one wants Casado or Chipolina, despite it saying that clubs want them, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. Asking price is too high. I mean, we've literally not set an asking price. We've literally not set one. It's unspecified. So I don't know what he's on about, but we'll set one at 20 grand. We just want him gone to get him off the wage bill. The same with Chipolina as well. Transfer offer to clubs. Let's go 5 grand on this, 5.75, because we want to get him gone. Alcorca want Brito though. No, I've decided that I don't want to sell Brito. I want to keep him, and he's the only one getting bids, which is annoying. Toledo wants Casado for 50. We'll accept it because he's on what? How much is he on? 1.4 grand a week. It will save us a lot of money. So get him out. He's not going to play. And the assistant manager is signing for us. Finally, you love to see it. He's into the club. Send on an intensive language course for English or Spanish. He's Argentinian. Did they not speak Spanish in Argentina? I'm pretty sure they do. Oh, he's Italian. He's Italian, not Argentinian. Okay, I forgive you. I think it was the last assistant manager who was Argentinian. I'm just getting bad flashbacks. No one wants Madrid are now coming in for Meakin. He's not accepted his new contract yet, has he? We'll leave this for as long as possible, again, and hopefully reject it in a week's time, and then he will accept that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for. As I was trying to say, Chipolina, no bids for him. Transfer offer to. We just want him out. Just get out of here, please, for like 1.5k. There we go. A club has finally bid for him. Excellent stuff. See you later, Michael. The end of a dynasty in a way. The last Chipolina player to play for us, Michael, It's a big shame as Levante now want Meakin as well. Oh, God, I thought it was all over when we offered him that new contract. It's still not over. It's a bit tumultuous still. From previous experience, he won't sign his contract until we reject all those bids. So I'm going to leave him a week, and then he'll think, oh, I'll sign a new contract. I've left it a week. You know, I can't sign for Real Madrid now. I'll just sign this one with Lincoln Red Imps instead. In the meantime, we've apparently got a ton of friendlies coming up in quick succession. A new assistant manager is really getting down to it very quickly. At 4 friendlies now in a week. Mad. So, bringing in Lazaro will bring our wage budget down £2,000 a week. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a cheaper deal. It's not a cheaper deal at all. We may as well just pay him the full wage. Is he? How good is he? He is good, isn't he? Is this worth it? I don't know. Let's delay it. Let's delay it a week. I want to see other left backs come through our scouting network. Celta Vigo now want Meakin again. Just gonna keep pushing them back, ignoring it. Keep ignoring. The guy we tried to get in from Betis, he's gone to Rayo Vallecano instead. Oh, you hate to see it. Betis players genuinely just hate us. I don't really know why. Because, you know, we offer good football here at Lincoln Gibraltar. But no, apparently not. Info on most of the wingers available for loan have come in. And there's 2 decent-ish players here. Garcia and Montez. Montez is more an attacking midfielder than a winger by the looks of things. His crossing and dribbling, not so good. But his physicals, actually acceleration and pace aren't brilliant. The guy underneath him, Garcia, much better crossing, much better. Garcia's the man to go for, I think, in on loan. Depends how much he is. Make an offer. Loan. £3,700 a week. I don't think loans are the best options for us, really, are they? But can we bring this down to like 70%, please? Lock that in. Suggest they want £4,000, and then negotiate this down to like £2,000. £2,000. It's not going to make a difference in the long run, is it? Actually, at all. It won't make a difference whatsoever to the actual cost we pay for them, will it? Can we bring this down any further? I mean, we're slowly getting them down. Come on. Agree to... Okay, it's got to be 3.8. Apparently, we can't change it to 3.8. Oh, God. I've messed this one up, haven't I? Don't worry, I've reset it by going forward a day. Let's try and get them... Oh, I don't know what... 3.5, let's say that. And they said 3.8, didn't they? 3.8 is what we know we can go to on this. 3.8. Come on, lads. Be reasonable here. You know, we're a struggling club financially. We need every bit of help we can get. 3.8. Accept those demands. Right, it's been a week since Real Madrid offered in for Meakin. It's time to reject it because we can't obviously go any longer without rejecting it. So reject that, and whilst we're there as well, we've now got to reject the other bids as well. And now we've got to hope that he'll come back tomorrow and he'll just say, okay, I'll sign my contract. This is where I'm very nervous now. Come on, Meakin. Giovanni Caicedo is leaving the club for Toledo, £15,000. That's good. Chipolina has snubbed Real Union. Oh, Chipolina. We just need you off the wage bill, lads. Offer to clubs. £1,000. Please, loads of clubs bid for him now. Unfortunately, I've not seen anything about Meakin accepting a new contract, which has worried me just a little bit. Oh, and maybe a good centre mid that we might have just seen. Omar from Sporting Gijón, available on loan. Please be cheap. No, he's not. He's the we can't sign him. He's too much money. Money's going to become the real issue here, as no offers for Chipolina. You've got to find a new club, lad. You've got to. You've got to go and find someone. Oh, but the best news is here. JD Meakin commits his future to Lincoln Gibraltar. Rather than just holding out and rather than rejecting the contract and holding out for Real Madrid to come in and just bid £600,000 for him, he's rejected it all, and now he's got a minimum fee release clause of 50. He's got a relegation release fee clause of 700k. Let's not get relegated, otherwise he will be leaving us next season. But £15 million. Oh, I think we've got him for a long time now. Centre-mid scouting is going quite well, actually, I must say. This guy, Borja Martin, on 12 grand a week. I highly doubt we're going to be able to pay his wages. We're not, so let's not bring him in. A day, he could be all right. You know, attacking playmaker, operating at this level right now. How much do they want? Only 2.9. Right, let's make the offer on this guy. I think he's the best one to go for. Passing good, technique good, vision good, teamwork and work rate good, determination good. Personality is fickle. That's the only downside to him that I've seen so far. And he's got 2 feet as well. I think he could be a winner for us there. And I tell you what, if we can bring him in, the winger in, and the left back in on loan, that's all the transfer stuff done, I think. Yes, a lot of these players aren't on permanent deals, but what we've seen so far is that players who want to come to us permanently aren't what we need, really. They're not good enough right now. So we just need these 3 players to accept us, and it should... In fact, we can go to confirmation on this guy now, I think. There's no other left backs that are great, although we can't ask for confirmation yet, so we'll wait for that one to come through. A few offers made for Chipolina, which is quite nice. Chipolina will be leaving the club, which will be good. We can bring in the fullback now by reducing our wage bill a little bit to pay for him, so let's adjust the budget. That should be absolutely fine to still bring the other 2 players in. So that's a left back coming in who is very good, from Real Madrid as well, which is mental. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, very pleased with that. Garcia, the winger, is about to... Okay, now this could be a little tricky. £42,000 is required. We've got a current transfer budget of 0. That's... And apparently not enough. Oh, we can't adjust the budget on this one, because our committed spending is too much. Oh, dearie me. Well... It's not the end of the world if we can't get Mohamed Garcia in. It's not the end of the world. We still have Timo Wolf. We still have Daz Finley. Yes, they're probably not quite as good as Garcia, but they have done very well in recent years. So I'm still happy to keep them playing for us. If there is one position that we don't need to improve in out of the left back, the centre mid and the left wing, it would be with the left wing. So, okay, we're not going to get Garcia. Timo Wolf will stay as our first choice still. It's still a decent option for us, so I'm happy with that still. More takeover talks, and apparently the chairman is still quashing those talks as well. They happen every season, so I got excited about it 5 years ago. I'm not that excited about it now. Andre Shittigel has now got his Continental B license. I think he gets a Continental A license and then a Continental Pro license after that. He's somehow doing all his coaching badges despite... finally, we can see his staff attributes. I've never been able to see these before, and now I can. And I'll be honest with you, a little bit of work on the judging player potential, he could be alright, you know. I mean, ideally, he will be alright because he is going to be our assistant manager. There's no way I'm letting him be assistant manager anywhere else. He is going to be ours. We just don't know when, because he's not going to retire for a little while yet. And of course, we've just signed a new guy on a 2-year deal. So... maybe in 2 years' time. You never know. And then I think to round off all the transfers then for this transfer special, Ade is coming in to the club as another centre midfielder. He did look rather good from what we saw of him. Hopefully he does live up to that, what the scouts told us, as he's about to come to the club. Can we see him, please? That'd be quite nice. Here he is, 3-star, not quite the 4-star we were told he was going to, but still good enough to play at this level. I like what I see. So, I'll be honest with you, I think this is a team that is good enough to reach the playoffs this season. I genuinely think that. The first 11, definitely. There's a few players on the bench that can come in and make a good impact. You know, Gonzalez, Arroyo, Raul Jr., Robbo. But I think the depth isn't brilliant. But I think we've made some sweeping changes to the starting 11. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new players in the starting 11. It would have been 7 without Timo Wolf. Obviously, Gonzalez will come in for Dekene every now and again, and he's, I guess, a new player to an extent. So there is sweeping changes to that first team. 5 players in on loan. We are relying on loans quite a bit, but we might just need to get ourselves in a playoff position. Season preview puts us 16th, which is the highest it's ever put us at 50-1 odds, but that is still pretty close. You know, 7th is what we're aiming for, but then Barcelona B, Real Madrid B, Villarreal B, Valencia B, they're all going to be up there in the top 4 or so. So I think if we can just aim for like 10th or so, we might have a great chance of playoffs. I think this is decent. I think that's one of the better transfer windows that we've had. I'm very pleased with that. We've kept Meekin, we've got rid of some deadwood for some actual money, and we've brought in some good quality loan players too. And of course spent £150,000 on a right winger who looks really decent as well with potential. So with all that being said, I think we have a lot to be excited for next season. So thank you very much for watching today's transfer special. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have done, drop a like on the video for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.